Smart and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.
And so we are into May, the final month of the tournament. Match 49, once we enter matches 49 and in the 50s, every game has high stakes riding on it. The Super Kings know that more than anyone, and we're seeing it with surfaces slowing down at Lucknow, at Kolkata, at Chennai. But who can slow down the Punjab Kings, who are on a high after registering the highest ever T20 chase in history? And are they the kind of team that CSK would be wary of? There's a very interesting recent record between Punjab and Chennai. We'll come to all that as we build up to the game at the Chepauk this evening on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Mitch McClenaghan has slotted back into that corner seat.
Yep.
He's thrilled.
It's comfy.
Yeah. And I will prove to you that where you are seated has nothing to do with your performance on the show. As we welcome Dasgupta back after a nice little break. How are you, Mr. Dasgupta?
Very good indeed.
And how was the Eden Gardens that night? You were there calling that incredible game.
It was absolutely crazy. I mean, for the longest time, we thought 260, no chance. They'll do well to get to 230 and all. But then Johnny Bairstow. It's and obviously not to forget Shashank. I mean, the last 20-odd runs. I mean, guys, they were hitting sixes for fun.
Yeah. Not to forget Shashank next to your right also. Shashank Kishore, senior correspondent, is here, back and ready with us. You had a busy day yesterday, didn't you?
I thought I'd be scrambling around today in the Wankhede and then making my way back in a sweaty local train or something.
Yeah. Oh, stop it. We give you a car and all. Yeah, come on. Don't make us sound so bad. Imagine, we send them in the train sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, things have settled. The squad has been announced. In many ways, it's a relief that we can now focus just on the IPL games, one after the other. This is a tricky game, though. I think someone on the panel said midway through the season that Punjab will be a dangerous team to play even if they find themselves out of serious contention for the playoffs. And Chennai know that more than anyone. I mean, Punjab are at 6. They have 5 games left. They can still get to 16. And I'm trying to think whether the highs of a win like the last time, Deep, actually make this Punjab side believe, who've been so inconsistent, that they could actually make a case for the playoffs.
They still can. I mean, if they go on to win, they need total 7 wins, so 4 out of the next 5 they need to win. And they're starting to look a little more dangerous. Maybe that fear of failure, of this whole pressure of trying to kind of, qualify and stuff like that is behind them. Maybe they're not thinking about it as much. And the major issue before the last game was the top 4. And then suddenly, Riley Russo got some runs, Prabh Simran got runs, and then Shashank came and batted at 4. So it looks a little different. I mean, they've got a good bowling side as well.
Yeah. And they've also got 2 games back-to-back now against the Super Kings. There are these handful of fixtures which are, of course, scheduled in a way that allows the rest of the league to have its usual course. So Chennai and Punjab will play tonight at the Chepauk. And they'll spend a lot of time with each other over the next few days, taking a nice chartered flight to Dharamshala, where we'll have 2 home games for Punjab Kings. They're done at Mullapur, and now they'll finish off at Dharamshala as far as their home games are concerned. They're on the road to play Rajasthan and Hyderabad, who also have a lot riding on them. Mitch McClenaghan has had a different take on these teams that might be in a good position towards the end, that they might rotate and change a few players. So who knows if that happens.
I got shouted down the other day on the couch.
He said that. He said Rajasthan might qualify, they'll change that up, give a few guys game time, and everyone just...
I hope not. I mean, Rajasthan's done that in the past, and they've almost paid for it as well. So I hope not. I mean, the last thing you want to do is change things just because you've qualified, lose momentum and stuff like that.
Just the fact that it's a long tournament, and it comes down to how far the team's got to travel. If Rajasthan's got to travel a long way after going to Chennai, going back to where they're going to play in Ahmedabad.
They've just got one,
if they
I think they're done at Jaipur now. So they also go to Guwahati.
So if the travel's long, if it's a 3-4 hour travel and then 3-4 hours back, then you're starting to look like, we might rest some of our bowlers. Threw it out there and I got absolutely...
No, you're coming from a fast bowler's point of view. You need your break and, workload management and stuff like that, But looking at those... fixtures for Punjab. I mean, Dharamshala, Guwahati, nice weather next 10 odd days.
Two tough opponents as well. I mean, with Sunrisers.
If you saw that Punjab set of fixtures, they also got a nice little break between games. Not every team enjoys that now. Chennai, if you look at, and there's no nice weather at Chennai for the time being. Ravi Shastri has managed to put all his energy into telling us it's hot and sweaty and humid. And as we look at CSK's remaining fixtures, they actually have quite an interesting schedule. They play today and then on the 5th, and Dharamshala is a fair flight from Chennai. Then on the 10th and 12th, almost back to back. So you'll play Gujarat and Ahmedabad on the 10th, fly presumably on the 11th, and then play on the 12th against RR back at home, eventually finishing at the Chinnaswamy in 6 days' time. And if you've got 2 fixtures against Punjab, many times people think, oh, that's good, that's easy. But not for CSK recently. Let's look at the recent head-to-head record. I wonder if this is one of the great anomalies in the league.
It is, but it's also it also dates back to 2021, where the makeup of this side was a lot different to what it is now. When
the Chennai side or the Punjab
the
side?
Punjab side,
right?
And it also reflects the kind of inconsistencies that they've had in the team selection. Look at that squad that started this victory run. They have KL Rahul, Nicholas Pooran, Mohammad Shami, Ravi Bishnoi, all of them potentially retention material. Yet they don't have even one of them in the squad now. So it just shows how much they've chopped and changed over the years. And every year we talk about them before the auction as one of the dark horses, one of the powerhouses. And then yet they find themselves in the situation where 5 games left, 6 games left, and they have nothing to lose.
And
who's ever used the word powerhouse? Is that you?
No, but I guess why he's saying
general.
that is almost every auction they would have the biggest purse available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're a very giving team. They gave all those players you mentioned to the new teams. So 3 went to Lucknow. Most of the former Punjab boys went to Lucknow. Lucknow doing quite well. The rest picked up. Shami went to Gujarat. But
One more name to that list, Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah.
Deepak Huda also. Everyone's been around at Punjab.
Punjab.
Let's get to this Punjab team. In the identity now, Sam Curran as Shikhar Dhawan continues to remain absent. And after the last game, as good a player as Shikhar Dhawan has been in the history of the IPL, they have barely missed him, especially with Prabh Simran getting runs and how well Shashank Singh is batting. Sam Curran's won the toss and will bowl first, much like Pat Cummins did the other day, and found himself falling short after a ball change at the Chepauk that evening. So, still the wise decision to bowl first?
I think for their side, yes. I think they've got a good bowling unit who can restrict Chennai to a good score if they go about the work like they have been. The interesting one is that they've kept Riley Rousseau. I thought Livingston as a spin option in Chennai might have been a consideration to come in there. So, and bolster that middle to lower order. Yeah. But they've gone with the team that's chased down that mammoth total in Kolkata. So, can understand the consistency. It's probably good to see from a Punjab Kings point of view.
Yeah, same team for the Kings. I think it's the first time this season that they might have had the same team. Prabh Simran will be the impact sub, you presume, when they chase. And they took a big call, didn't they, in that game, Deep, that you covered at the Eden Gardens, of changing the overseas makeup. Liam Livingston's big player, big money player.
Yeah.
And it seems like this should be the team they stick with now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously, what they've done, what they've achieved in the last game. And also, I think one of the reasons might be that you've got a left-hander in the mix in the batting order. If you look at the batting order, you don't have too many left-handers. And with Shikhar not available, so maybe just put in a left-hander. It's not that Liam Livingston was setting the stage on fire either. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, but with CSK and then Chennai, you just mentioned about the pitch tiring. The Liam Livingston's bowling abilities might come to the fore at this venue, but yeah, they might miss it.
Significant news from the Super Kings camp, a team that had started to gel well as a defensive bowling unit, especially at the Chepauk, but that will have 2 notable changes. Tushar Deshpande, who's been excellent for them, misses out with an injury. So too does Matisha Patirana, their standout overseas bowler. Richard Gleeson, who was named as a replacement player for Devin Conway once the Kiwi opening bat was ruled out, will now get his first IPL cap for the Super Kings. 36-year-old Quick, he's capped 6 times in T20Is for England and has represented Durban Super Giants, Gulf Giants, among others, has Richard Gleeson, who plays for Northamptonshire. Pathirana's a big miss, isn't he? And Deshpande as well. This changes. And Mustafizur's playing his last game today.
Yeah, I mean, Pathirana, I think in death overs, his economy is something like 8.5 or something like that. So he's been incredible, especially the back end of the game this season. So, yeah, huge miss. So is Tushar Deshpande. So it's quite interesting. I don't know, have you seen the pitch? No. Is it like the usual old Chepauk?
I think we've almost got to assume it's going to be similar to last game. Sunrisers game, perhaps. Yeah. With the kind of batting reputation Punjab entered with this into, it was similar to Sunrisers. So, are we expecting it to once again stick a little?
Well, you would have thought if it was going to stick a little bit, they would have played Tikshana instead of Richard Gleeson. So I guess potentially the fact that Deshpande's out, they might have said that they needed that extra seam bowling option. Both of those losses are significant.
Yeah.
They are massive, massive losses.
Yep.
Deshpande's been in great form. He's been reliable at the top. His economy this year has been exceptional, in tough conditions. So he's going to be a huge loss. And obviously we know how good Padirana is.
Yeah.
Just has the ability, even in the middle when he first starts his spell, to just break the game open, break a partnership, get Chennai back into the game if the batting unit's starting to pull the game back in their favour. So two huge losses. Richard Gleeson, for those who haven't seen him much, he's got a bit of pace. Be early 140s, mid 140s. More of a new ball bowler. Will go to a Yorker. But
that's interesting because that's different to Patirana's use then. So that'll change things up today.
He'll probably fit into more of the Deshpande role, in my opinion. But they might want to use him in a different role. He can bowl Yorkers, but I would have said the new ball, swinging the ball away from the right-hander, is more of his strength. And he's like a skiddy type bowler. Gets a little bit more bounce. He's reasonably tall. So
what is reasonably tall for you?
Well, I mean, he's 6'3", 6'4". Yeah.
That's reasonably tall.
Well, it's not.
See where we come from.
Just a couple of things on the lineups.
Yes.
Deep touched upon Livingston potentially being a big miss. I think it's a bigger miss considering the fact that Chennai have a left-hander packed middle order. Shivam Dube, Moeen Ali, Ravindra Jadeja. So Harpreet Brar will have to potentially bowl those overs. So you're looking at someone, if you traditionally consider matchups and how teams are very hell-bent on not exposing the left-arm spinners to left-handers, then you're potentially looking at him not bowling out his 4 overs. So those overs from Livingston could have been a lot more crucial.
Yeah. We just saw the Richard Gleeson numbers there as well, just on the bottom of the screen. And we've got to also remember that those numbers were in ILT 20, where at the start of the tournament, the ball was moving and it was swinging around and they were seamer-friendly wickets. So those numbers look great, but those aren't the conditions he's going to be bowling in tonight.
Is it also fair to say that their bowling actually has done all right? And didn't it, even when they were losing Punjab Kings? We can break down some death bowling numbers for you because we've reached the stage now where Punjab have to play their 10th game and they've already passed the wickets tally at this stage, having played just the 9 games than they did in the entire 2023 season. Of course, the inclusion of Harshal Patel, Rabada has been used quite well. Sam Curran, pretty good as captain too, but that if you were in that bowling in that dugout as a bowling coach right now, this is one thing that you'd be very pleased with.
Done. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. The average is great. Obviously, that's because they're taking wickets, but the strike rate, that's important, right? How many balls it takes you to actually take a wicket, particularly in a year where we're talking so much about the impact sub, the impact it's having on teams scoring more runs. The only way to stop a team getting a big total is by taking wickets and getting them 6-7 down. And consistently, Punjab Kings are doing that in this competition.
Sam Curran leads that pack, 7 wickets along with Harshal Patel. Somehow you've just got to ignore the economies this year. Don't read too much into it with the kind of scores we've seen.
What has also happened of late with Harshal Patel is the pitches have kind of, call it tired, or it's gripping a lot more, especially the home games at Mullapur. Those were pretty low-scoring games, and that's where I think Harshal is at his best, when the ball's gripping a bit. It's not skidding through. The slow becomes that much more potent, his slow delivery. So Harshal in the last few games has been really, really good.
Yeah, his method has changed. I think at the start of the tournament, he was only bowling those short, slower balls because of the new rule. And as we've seen him progress throughout the tournament, he started to bowl the back of the hand. Yeah. He's bowled the old dipping slower ball.
Yeah, that was his marquee ball, wasn't it? And he's now got the confidence to bowl that again.
Absolutely. And then he's also backing his pace on. So he's still bowling that length ball and then his Yorker as well. So his array of skills has progressed throughout this tournament, and I think that's why he's got better as the tournament's gone on.
Who knows? Maybe one of those bowlers you saw will actually become the first bowler to claim MS Dhoni's wicket this season, which has still not happened, and he is still whacking it for a few balls at least towards the end. Sam Curran leads that pack. Sam Curran leads this team. Sam Curran is someone who we caught up with. Matt Roller got some time with the Punjab Kings captain. Let's listen into what he said.
Obviously, my 2 years at Chennai, I played in Dubai, so kind of didn't really get that. I played a lot of games with Chennai though, so excited. I think it's incredible. You got to take it all in because those moments, there's nowhere else in the world where you get that atmosphere. It's probably similar to that football, passionate fans and kind of do or die. They literally support their franchise through thick and thin. So it's an incredible experience, and obviously really good mates with Mo as well. So when you chat to Mo, he kind of says it's such a great franchise, and there's no surprise they're one of the most successful with trophies. I guess all our season, the way it's gone, we're pretty much in a position where we need to win all our games, so that's pretty obvious. But been a great tournament. Obviously, everyone's seen how big the scores have been and stuff like that. So I guess that's kind of the game's moving so fast, and kind of you saw the way Johnny played the other night, which was fantastic, and all the English batters have been doing really well. So it's been fantastic to watch. I guess, yeah, personally, it's been really good as well. It's just been one of those tournaments again. Obviously took on the captaincy, which was good. Enjoyed that, and obviously did a little bit of it last year. So fingers crossed we can win 4 from 4, and we'll be happy. I know it was only 2 years ago. It actually feels quite a long time ago since that World Cup. So it's very, very exciting as a group to kind of going there as champions. There's obviously be pressure on us, and kind of I think again handling that pressure will be really, really important. We've got a great squad, great bunch of players. So the Caribbean will be another completely different conditions, because I think all surfaces will be totally different. There's big winds and smaller grounds, bigger grounds, and obviously our group is a different group to what kind of we used to, playing teams that we don't usually play. So that'll be quite interesting. And I think there's a great place to play cricket, but fingers crossed we can start really well and put our names in towards the back end of the tournament to kind of have that confidence and belief as a group that we can win again.
Sam Curran catching up with Matt Roller, both very similar in that sense. Matt Roller's like the Sam Curran of the writing world. Both just never look like they've aged a day.
It wasn't a very flattering camera angle as well.
He
made it look good. If we were doing that, it'd be terrible.
It's more over here. Yeah, it was. I think we've literally just recorded a FaceTime chat or a video chat. Yeah, well done, Matt. But the key points are what Sam is saying. He was actually a bit of a Super Kings fanboy. When he worked with us a couple of years back, when he didn't play the IPL, he did a couple of days on Link on the show, and we jokingly asked, if you go into the auction, where do you want to go? And he said Super Kings, CSK. So, well, he's got to Punjab and they're beating CSK. But let's just have a look at the T20 World Cup squad for England. Let's change it up a little bit. We're done with India. And what's notable to see, he mentioned the regulars who carry on from there. We actually have as many as 5 players featuring today. Bairstow, Livingston's not in the 11. Moeen Ali's there. Sam Curran's there as well. So a number of the players that are going to feature in that England squad in action in this Chennai-Punjab game. Notably, while we talk about India being spin heavy, there are as many as 5 spin options for England. Specialist spin options in the form of Adil Rashid and Tom Hartley, as well as Moeen Ali, who's a genuine all-rounder. And you get Livingston and Will Jacks as well. They've got 1 extra seamer, specialist seamer. If you look at Jordan, Archer, Wood and Topley, India have gone in with the 3, and Sam Curran is the all-rounder. But that's the England 15-member squad, defending champions of the T20 World Cup. Anything missing?
Not from the eye. Pretty solid.
Looks
pretty
good,
solid
doesn't it?
side. Pretty solid side. I know a lot of people were talking pre this announcement. Ben Stokes ruled himself out. But looking at that side, I don't know if he'd make that side in terms of T20 cricket. That's an exceptional side. The batting power that they possess, that's going to be something to behold. It's quality side. The only question mark is around there. Probably their bowling unit is probably the weaker of the 2 facets. Adil Rashid, I think, is a quality leg spinner, will go great in those conditions. Hartley's an interesting one. Hasn't really played a lot of T20 cricket for England, so that's a significant inclusion. How does he come into any kind of selection? Is he there as a backup or as a match-up player against certain sides? But Jofra Archer being back as well.
That's big news.
That's big news. That's massive news. And you see that they pulled Mark Wood out of this tournament. You know, they're really eyeing the T20 World Cup. They want to go back to back. So the 2 Bayesian boys, you know, you've got Jofra Archer and Chris Jordan.
You saw that tweet, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I didn't see the tweet.
No?
No, they'll be...
Caribbean Cricket Podcast put this out.
Today.
That if England and the West Indies play in the T20 World Cup final in Barbados, it is likely that England would have had more players born in Barbados than the West Indies.
Well, I tell you what, the Bajan fans might get around that. They might start cheering for England.
And Sam Curran would be a relief guy because there were obviously debate whether he should be part of that 50-member squad or not. Because
the guy was player of the match in the final last time.
But last 12 odd months has been very, very average, or below average rather. So he hasn't had a good last 12 months. So I think he would be a relief man that way. I think the biggest advantage that they have is the bat deep.
Yeah.
A lot of all-rounders. They would have 6-7 bowling options, back till number 9, 10. So I think that's the biggest advantage that they have.
Look at that one more time. It's fair to say, I'm guessing Sam Curran still bowled well enough in the IPL. Is that fair to say? He's had a decent IPL with the ball.
But you might not look at him as
Your number one
banker, as in a proper 4-over bowler.
Well, the point I was trying to make is the amount of England players that have actually found serious form in this IPL. Joss Butler, Phil Salt, now Bairstow, you can say, after that last innings. Will Jacks after his last innings. Livingston is the exception, perhaps. Moeen, steady, just doing his thing, not been asked to do too much just yet. Topley's been steady, even though he's not had a lot of games. But yeah, they take a lot going back to the England squad, and now we also know that they will not feature for the playoffs.
That's right.
Which
Massive
is always
loss.
decided.
Yeah.
I believe so. But
The one thing is they've all had success at the top of the order.
Correct.
If you see at the top 3, top 4, especially Will Jacks coming in at 3 has been a point of difference for RCB in this campaign. So that's a massive sign for them.
It's Ben Duckett in that
It's
team.
possible he'll also tussle with Harry Brook.
I think Ben Duckett he'll bat 4, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll go Joss at the top with Phil Salt, Will Jacks at 3. I think Ben Duckett will bat 4, Harry Brooks 5.
So
Johnny
you're
will
not
miss
playing
out.
Liam then.
Johnny Bairstow will miss out.
Johnny won't start.
Oh, right.
I don't think.
So he's back up for Butler then.
Well,
back up for Salt.
Salt. I would play Salt. But, I guess they might go something different, and then they might look at Livingston or Mo at 6 and 7.
You'll have a Harry Brook returning, and he's been away from the game for a while, so you never know what you
But
get
he's in
there.
really good form.
He's-
Got a couple of centuries in county already.
Yeah, and he's only not here because of his grandma
Yeah.
passing and stuff like that. Someone was very close to him, so you can understand, why he's not here. He's gone back home, so he would have lit up the IPL. So he was.
Would he had a tough season last year?
Yeah, you look at the conditions in Delhi. You look at the conditions he had at Hyderabad last year compared to the conditions that he would have played at Delhi in.
And
he
also
would have done
for
well.
an overseas middle order batter to come and shine in the very first year, and especially when you're talking about last season when the pitches weren't as good as this to bat on. Yeah, I mean, you can expect the top order batters, overseas top order batters to do well with the new ball and stuff like that. But a middle order, very rarely you see overseas guys coming
And
in.
then they took him out in the middle. Yes, I know, he scored the 100 at the top.
And then he stayed there.
But he's never.
Yeah, that was,
opened,
it
never
almost
opened
was a-
before.
well,
So they mismanagement.
And he also came to Delhi at a much more reasonable price, so he wouldn't have had that
no
pressure.
pressure.
And we've seen how well Tristan Stubbs has done for them in
Yeah.
the role, presumably, that Harry Brook would have had first right at. So there's that.
Well, I mean, Stubbs and Harry Brook in the middle there for that side. Fraser McGurk at the top. Shea Hope would probably miss out. So that's a very, very good side.
Just don't want to confuse our viewers. Stubbs is, of course, South African, not part of the England squad. So, anyway, So what I did there?
Yeah, I got so.
Awesome. All right. Let's move on, shall we? Let's focus on the key part of the Chennai batting lineup, especially with the kind of form he's found. He seems to have settled into the role of MS Dhoni's successor, and Ruturaj Gaikwad, player of the match in the last game, excellent in the last 5 games, striking at nearly 160 after he started indifferently in the first 4. What's interesting is how the power game seems to have gone up. And some numbers that, Shashank, you have to help me explain over here when we break down the intent success and the intent numbers of a batter like Gaikwad.
To begin the season, the first 4 games, his intent percentage in the power play was the lowest along with Shikhar Dhawan. And after the four games, from the 5th game onwards, there's been a significant shift in his approach in the power play. Yet, he stands 4th lowest among the intent. But for somebody with that low an intent in the power play, the fact that he's still been able to strike at 150 to 160 is quite astounding.
Let's
so the
also
manner
break
in
down
which he's
intense strike rate, sorry Shashank, but intense strike rate when you're going for a big shot, showing that intent. Therefore, you're looking for a boundary of 4 or a 6. So you're expecting your strike rate to be 400 there and thereabouts. So anything close to that tells you that more often when you're trying to play a big shot, you're succeeding. Simply put, carry on.
So for somebody to have that strike rate with such a low intent percentage speaks of his versatility across pitches and conditions, and that's one of the reasons why Chennai Super Kings have also managed to overcome the muddle that they were in 3 or 4 games ago, where they found themselves on a sticky wicket with a string of low scores that were chased down. So is it possible for a batter when he comes into a season to make that approach midway through a season? I mean, we've seen a lot of players come in, have that approach, get stuck in a bit of a rut, and then they get left out.
When I look at those names there, they're very orthodox batters.
Yes.
Right? So it is always going to be difficult for the orthodox batters playing orthodox cricketing shots to get that intent percentage high. I mean, look at Shubman Gill, he's very orthodox, plays all 3 formats, Shikhar Dhawan, obviously, and Ruturaj as well, Rahane as well. So it'll be a little difficult as compared to a completely T20 batter. The modus operandi would be very different. So what I think has happened with Ruturaj, he's found the right balance in terms of playing cricketing shots. It's not that the last few games that he's got runs, he's playing those T20 shots, still playing orthodox cricketing shots. Yeah, and he's backing himself. And you know, I think he's found that right balance between, you know, not taking, you know, outright risks.
Yeah.
And also striking.
That point will be illustrated in exactly the next set of numbers. Sorry, Mitch, but you could see those numbers and talk to them. Yeah. The highest control percent in the power play, 85.4.
So, I mean, that's probably the biggest point, is that the first 4 games, if we go back and you actually wanted to study every delivery, he would have been hitting fielders, playing good, solid cricketing shots, hitting fielders. So strike rate was down, he was building pressure on his other partner at the other end, and then he was getting out in whatever fashion it was. What we've seen the last 4 or 5 games, every time he's played just a conventional shot, he's missed the fielders. He's just hitting gaps. And this is the ebb and flow of being a traditional opening batsman who plays solid cricketing shots. And that's why you get like an average strike rate, right? You know, of these guys. Some games they'll strike at 120, some games they'll strike at 170. They haven't changed the way they're going about their game. They're just hitting the gaps more or getting the odd bad ball which they can put away conventionally. So it's just been nice that he's actually kept the same method, or relatively so, barring spin. He's gone more aggressive against spin from what we've seen, but he's still playing good cricket shots and hitting gaps.
He's in great form. 450 plus scores in the last 5 games, 3 of those in wins. That defeat was his 100, which was just upped by an even better 100 by Marcus Stoinis. So because we've talked him up so much, let's show you what Kishore Rabada does when he bowls to him, because we might have put the curse on him. 3 dismissals in 9 innings at an average of just under 19, and that's Rabada, who enjoys a pretty good record against all the CSK batters, or at least a number of the CSK batters at different phases. Keep an eye out on Jadeja, subject of much debate and discussion with his batting form, and MS Dhoni's walked in ahead of him many times. In Rabada's use has also been quite unique, sometimes at the death, sometimes finishing off well before. So those are some numbers and matchups to keep in mind as we very quickly enter the impact zone. Right, Rabada has the new ball, and will he be one of the 3 players that each expert picks, a batter, bowler and a wild card? And impact points, as per ESPN Cricket for Smart Stats, expert with the highest points tally gets 3 in their season tally, and Deep Dasgupta has a chance to add to his season tally. Deep, you remember this?
Which is in the negative?
No, you're fine. The thing about Mitch is like doing, Mitch is the RCB of our impact zone. You will always be above him, even if you have a long break. Sorry, Mitch, just having some fun.
No, fair.
Yeah, it's your chance to actually come good today. And Deep, why don't you start us off with a batter?
With a batter?
Yes, since you're back.
Batter.
Would you like to see the squads, Deep?
Yes.
Let's show him the lineups, please. That's Punjab for you.
You know what? Johnny Best, it's a quickish wicket. Very tempted to go with Shashank. I hope he bats at 4.
Okay, Shashank for Deep. Actually, he's not a common pick, even though he's in such good form.
I was going to look at him
today, I hope he bats at 4.
of course you will.
No, genuinely.
Tom is watching this. Anyway, Mitch.
I'm going to go with Gaikwad.
Ruturaj Gaikwad. Shashank, Kishore.
I'll go with Johnny Bairstow.
All right. Bowler for you, Mitchell McClenaghan.
I'm going to go with Rabada.
Rabada for Mitch. Shashank.
Harshal Patel.
Oh, interesting.
Harshal Patel. Oh.
And Mr. Dasgupta.
Wow. Somebody's going to look at CSK bowlers. Yeah, you know what? Mustafizur
Rahman. And the wild cards now. Shashank, you can go first.
Daryl Mitchell.
Okay. He got a 50 in the last game, found some form. Deep.
Prab Simran.
Prab Simran also got a 50 in the last game, found some form.
I
Mitch.
say Dubé.
And Dubé has
He's not an...
lots of form.
Come on.
You missed out on Dubé?
You missed out on Dubé. Unlucky.
And now it is time for me to add my tidbits and just try and not finish last with, the spoils that you guys leave me. I'm going to have some fun over here today. I am going to go for Jadeja, who bowled quite well in the last game. I'm also going to go for Sam Curran. And I am going to back Deepak Chahar. He's there, no? Deepak Chahar?
Yeah.
He's there. Deepak Chahar. Yeah. Changes that they made. Right, let's see how this goes. It should be fun. Do I have a batter in that? I do. Jadeja's a batter. I do, right? Because I need to pick a batter.
Yes.
Yeah, Jadeja's a batter.
That's fine.
Sam Curran's an opening bat. What nonsense. Of course I do. Outrageous picks and predictions very quickly. Mitch.
They're going to get 196.
Okay, big score. Oh no, not anymore actually in the IPL. Not for Punjab. Yeah, 196.
And Dubé is going to hit 4 sixes. Is that too little?
Dubé, go one more. Come on.
5.
Five,
Okay,
six.
5 sixes.
5 sixes is outrageous enough. In an over, right?
No.
Okay. Deep.
Okay. Besto. Okay, I'm going to do what Tom does. 12 deliveries.
Give me a first innings one. I'll bank
Okay.
Besto. So give me somebody else for 12 deliveries.
First innings. I'm going to go with Shivam.
Dubé. Oh, 5 sixes. Dubé to get out in less than 12 or less deliveries. So he has to hit his 5 sixes quickly. Then you all are both right. Shashank.
Chennai Super Kings will make 185.
Sorry, what was your score again? Deep? One?
Okay, my score. You said 185, 196. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go with 180.
180. All right. Yeah, carry on, Shashank. Sorry.
185 for CSK and Shivam Dubé will not bat more than 10 deliveries.
Oh, even.
Less than 12 for Deep, less than 10 for you.
So is it runs?
Since he's
Does
got
he runs?
12, why don't you bring it down?
So he runs?
He's less than 12 deliveries.
Yeah.
Okay, delivery.
Make it less. Single digit score if you want to really put the curse on it. I don't know why you're after Dubé. Poor fellow.
Okay, I'll go 8 deliveries.
Ooh.
What is wrong with all of you?
Jeez, don't want me to win.
Yeah.
Far out. Okay,
The
cool.
world conspires against you.
Doesn't it?
We see where this game stands and where the misfortune directed towards Shivam Dubé stands from Shashank, Kishore and Deep Dasgupta. Who knows, maybe it will be a high impact 12, 50 or 12 could be.
Yeah, actually. Oh, why not?
Okay, that's not what you thought. We pick up the chat with the panel at the end of the CSK innings in what is a huge game for both teams. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Download the mobile app, fastest scores and so much more on the ESPN Cricket for app. All the squads coming through for the World Cup as well. Go have a look on the app right now. We'll see you at the end of the innings.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.